What's up, alumni? Welcome to After 4, your podcast for navigating life after graduation. I'm your host and guide, John Steele. We're continuing our series about wellness after graduation, and we're back this week with another alumni story about their post-graduation wellness journey. Today, we're joined by Justin Morrissette, a Purdue University alumnus who's going to share about how leaning into his exercise journey has benefited not only his physical fitness, but also his experience with community and his ability to share Jesus with others. I'm excited for you to meet him. Here's Justin, and this one's for you, alumni. Justin, welcome to After 4.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Yeah, man, excited to get to hang out together today and talk a little bit about your version of a wellness journey, sort of the season that we're in right now on the podcast, talking about health and wellness and what that looks like. Before we dive into any of that, though, Justin, would you help me and help our listeners get to know you a little bit?
Yes, so I'm Justin Morrissette. I live in Norman, Oklahoma currently, originally from Stone Mountain, Georgia. And I'm an airplane mechanic at the University of Oklahoma now.
Okay.
So doing that, enjoying that.
That's awesome.
Let's see, what else about me? Married with, I got a two-year-old boy. So he's
nice.
A lot of fun. The toddler phase. It's fun.
I have a 2-year-old as well. It's crazy.
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
6-year-old and a 2-year-old. It's fun and insane.
Yes, exactly. always insane.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we also got another one on the way. So another little boy coming this summer.
Congratulations!
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So thank you. And I went to Purdue, so graduated there back in 2016. Got involved with InterVarsity that way, and shout out to Mike Zintera and Annie for getting me plugged in there. So
nice.
Yeah, just forever grateful for them. Some fun facts about me: I also self-published a couple children's books, so
nice.
through Amazon, and had the ideas. Feel like I got to go for it, got to do it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of really anything in life. If you got the idea, you feel called, you just got to go for it. You just got to jump. So, got that. And then other kind of random fun fact, I'm proud about, but it could be a little quirky, but my everyday driver, my daily driver is a Japanese mini truck. Just got it like about month and a half ago, and
nice.
So it's called a K truck. It's super tiny, it's right hand drive. It's
nice.
Stick shift, totally different, matches my personality, just different. And
that's awesome.
Just love it. So
that's super cool. Definitely a first for the podcast. That kind of a fun fact. So that's way to go. You've claimed that trophy for sure, man. That's really great. Gosh, well, Justin, super glad to have you on the show today. Excited to dig in a little bit on your health and wellness journey and what that's meant even in a bigger picture. And that's one of the things that we really want to connect the dots on for people as we're talking here is that yes, it is super important for us to examine and identify these places in our wellness journey that's like, oh man, maybe this is a place that God is inviting me to take some next steps, some healthy steps forward, but to also recognize that a wellness journey is connected to other parts of our lives, and it has really helpful impacts and I want to say God honoring and others honoring impact along the way. And that's part of the reason that we want to have conversations with real life alumni and their real life stories of their wellness journey. So today we're digging in a little bit on that with you. And my understanding is that in particular, when it comes to your like fitness and exercise and like that and some of the broader parts of that as well, that's been a big part of your story over the last few years. So I mean, take us back as far as is helpful in this process, but what has that looked like for you? Where did the journey start? Just paint us a picture of what this has been like for you.
Yeah. So in high school, I was a wrestler. So I did that. A lot of fun. don't miss the practices. Those are terrible,
not.
but so did that, and then I remember wrestling like my last match. I'm like, oh wow, that's it. So kind of what's next, and when I got on campus, Purdue's got a nice gym, and so I was going there, just kind of doing my own thing, and got involved with some like intramural sports, and that was a lot of fun, like flag football and indoor soccer and some basketball. So that'll kind of tie into life after, InterVarsity and everything, and then towards my senior year, saw this thing called CrossFit, and at the time it was on ESPN. Like they had this thing called the CrossFit Games, and kind of super wild, and I was like, I got to try this, and so Purdue has a local CrossFit gym, and so I went there, saw the prices. I was like, oh, okay, nah, I don't think I can do that. But long story short, I like to say I hustled my way in. I was like, the owners at the time, I was like, hey, if I, clean the gym, can I get a discount? And they're like, oh yeah, definitely. And so, started out just cleaning, and then eventually became a coach, and and then coach for about 8-9 years. Straight after that.
Nice.
But what I really enjoyed about it was kind of wrestling was high intensity, and I was kind of looking for that next high intensity thing, so to speak. And CrossFit filled that void. One thing about CrossFit that I also do enjoy is that since it's a lot of different movements put together, and some sports are kind of in CrossFit. So like Olympic weightlifting. So I actually competed in that for a little bit. If let's say you're like, I call these people cardio bunnies, where they can just run around, just run laps and just keep going. I think that can help aid in, like, if they like to, just strictly run, I think that can, help them out. And so, I saw CrossFit as these different avenues, like, if you're, good at this or really enjoy this, you can kind of, be like almost like a supplement to, even like, pickleball, like, if you're like really into pickleball, I feel like CrossFit can also, help strengthen you, in that. And, so that's basically where I got my start in the fitness journey. And,
Yeah, that's awesome. I love the idea that, whether it's not everybody will get into CrossFit specifically, but whether it's that or other forms of like physical activity and physical fitness, that there's sort of there's a way to, match your personality, match the things that you enjoy doing. There's something for you here. And, for you, it was coming off of high intensity wrestling. And it's like, this is the type of physical fitness that I'm used to, that I'm built for. Like, God's made me to do this kind of thing. And so what's the next iteration of that for me that I can step into, and that I already have been like somewhat prepared for? And that, CrossFit was that thing for you. And like you're saying, there's something, whether it's there or outside of that, like there's something for everybody in this. It's a matter of like sort of discerning, how am I built? What kind of things are fun for me to do? And I'm going to chase something that does that and is like, keeps me active and healthy, keeps my body stretched out and strengthened, and I can do something like that. Justin, as you think about specifically the transition from like, you've gone from high school into college, and there was like, you're transitioning from one kind of school format and environment into another environment. When you graduated from college, were there any like hitches in that made the sort of your fitness journey challenging in ways that you weren't expecting? Or like, could you tell that there was a difference when you graduated and moved into the next phase? You're like, oh, okay, there's something that needs to adjust here, or that I need to change so that I can continue pursuing health in this way?
Yeah. So, really just, making it a priority and making sure I do it first. So I tend to do better if I just put it first. Like whether that's I think about quiet time with God, like that. People can, do it throughout the day or later, but I think it's pretty good if you, do it first and, have that start off your day. And, even though that became my full-time job at the time, was a full-time CrossFit trainer. If I didn't work out first, then even though I'm a trainer, like it didn't happen. So,
totally.
as crazy as that sounds. So, just the importance of like, yes, I need to do it first. And what I like about group classes specifically, kind of coming off of, you're in classes in college. You kind of think of it like, okay, I'm done with work. I'm going to, go to the 5:30 p.m. class, or we call them the crazies. They're in the 5 a.m. class. Or like having that, you can still kind of have that class mentality, like, oh, yes, I'm going to a class. Normally you see the same people every day and they help keep you accountable. So I'm a big fan of group fitness. And so that once I got out, that was the kind of switch I had to make, was, okay, I got to put this first, and or else other things will get in the way.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Justin, as you're talking, one of the things that stands out to me is that it sounds like there's one of the things that's been helpful for you is the communal element of fitness, that this has not been a solo journey for you.
Right.
And that maybe one of the things that has helped you continue on in the process, or maybe taken you through some difficult moments in this journey, that part of it has been community. Can you speak just a little bit more to what that experience has been like for you?
Yes. So just like how you can't do like your faith on your own, like you need like church.
Yes,
you need that in the fitness realm as well. Yes, just the accountability. Like I've had, if I miss, my classmates wouldn't let me miss a class. Like they text me, be like, hey, like, and so. Community is a big thing. Especially when you're just out of that just that college environment where you're kind of doing life together almost all the time. Like, especially like if you're in the dorms, and I was in the dorms all 4 years, so we would just do everything together, like all my dorm mates and everything, and then they were in InterVarsity too, so that was awesome as well. Yes, community. That's can't stress that enough.
Yeah, it's huge. And that is, I mean, so often that's one of the things that I hear from other alumni that they miss, is that tight-knit community. And that's one of the things that keeps coming up for us as we're having these conversations in this wellness series, is that all of these elements of wellness are connected to other parts. And so you can anticipate one influencing another, or one being a way to sort of prop up and benefit another. And so, that community and social well-being, and having that safety net of people around you, that's something that can prop up your physical fitness, and your fitness is something that can prop up the social aspect of wellness. Like both of those can kind of go hand in hand together. And Justin, I wonder for you, are there other things that you've noticed that have been sort of like broader ripple effects as a result of leaning into this part of your journey, both in school and long after graduation here?
Yeah, so just with fitness in general, and making that a priority. Fitness, it makes you sleepy. So you can, it makes you go to bed at a decent time. And, it's funny, like 9 p.m., like my body just shuts down. Like, hey, it's time to go to bed. And then, as you're exercising, like you tend to crave like healthier food. So like as you're working out, and sometimes just, Pop-Tarts don't taste as good, and so your body just wants, something better. So, just those little ripple effects. And then as you're doing like positive things in your life, you're like, well, what else can I do? What else can I do to make myself better? And so I can see it almost in everything. And and just going back to like my faith, just wanting to, like, you kind of want more. You're like, okay, what else can I learn about Jesus? What else can I learn about the Bible? And if you just make it a priority, you can just see all the little positive things that compound on one another.
Yeah, absolutely. We sort of function the same way in all of these different categories of like, something, whether it's getting set for, a daily routine of spending time with the Lord, of spending time in prayer and in quiet. Like if you haven't been doing it, it can feel really hard to get momentum towards it. But then once you do, it starts to like perpetuate itself, that I'm not just doing this because I know it's a good thing. It's something that I should do. I'm doing it because actually, like, the more I do it, the more I enjoy it, and the more I get from it, and the broader impact that I can see it having on my life. And it absolutely, like the times that I've stepped into more consistent exercise, especially over the last year of my life, that it's one of those things that's like, man, okay, I want to make time for this, not just because I know it's a good thing, but because I legitimately enjoy doing it. I like the way that I feel. And like, being able to just like crash at night instead of laying in there in bed with sort of anxious thoughts going through my brain, or like wanting to just scroll through on my phone or whatever, that exercising really does make it so you're like, I get to the end of my day and I'm just kind of done. Like I can read for a couple of minutes and then I'm just out. And so, absolutely. That it has these other things that are really impactful. And one of the things that I want to keep drawing our audience's attention to, and even us as we're talking about it, is like places that you find God in the midst of this journey. And so I wonder for you, have there been places that have been maybe even surprising ways that you've encountered God in the midst of this part of your journey, or ways that you've seen this impact your interactions with Jesus, or what, like, have there been ways that you've seen like, man, God is at work in this part of my life and he cares about this body that he's given to me?
Going back to like the group fitness environment, and and it's how you're kind of suffering together. That at towards the end of the workout, that tends to open people up about just how they're like really doing. And so there's been multiple times where I've gotten to have spiritual conversations, and people so that's been open doors there. And for myself, just personally, just after some workouts, there'll be some where I'm just like, I really don't want to do this. Or if it's like, and sometimes in CrossFit, there's max out days, and I was just like, there's no way like this weight's going to go up, and somehow it does. And so it's just like, thank you, Jesus, it's up and I'm fine. And everything's good. Those are some ways. And then in the mornings when I work out and as I'm warming up, I try to kind of incorporate some of my quiet time into that. Like as I'm kind of warming up, kind of stretching and whatnot, I'm just thinking like thank you, Jesus, woke up this morning, and I've been doing a lot of like, I'm able to move, I'm able to, do certain, like I'm 30 now. I'm 31, just turned 31. So I'm just like, yes, I can move, I can do certain things. And it's starting to like really be grateful for those things. And, those are just some things that I see.
Yeah, that's really great. I love even the as much as you can love it. Maybe that's the wrong word, but I'm certainly intrigued by the idea of sort of this mutual suffering that you experience with your community. that not only draws you closer to one another, but actually opens you up, like almost brings people's guard down and makes them more likely to kind of invite you into a personal space with them. Like, we've gone through some stuff together. Today's workout was brutal. We made it. Way to go. But now, I'm softened. I'm opened up, and I'm more willing to share and listen and receive and to have some of that back and forth. That's really cool. And I also really like the idea of that as you're working out, that or as you're prepping to work out, whatever it might be, that can even be almost this it can be part of a routine of engaging with Jesus, of like, I'm engaging my body, I'm warming up my body for this exercise and for the day. And I'm also almost just like breathing in the Lord as I prepare for stepping into this challenge, along with, the challenge of this exercise, along with the challenges and the joys and the things that will come today. That is a moment to sort of like bring God into the process with you. That can be part of a spiritual discipline, even is exercise. That's so great, because it feels super easy to separate those things.
Yeah.
Of like, I got to get my workout in, and I need to spend time with Jesus, and I just don't know how I'm going to get both of those things done. It's like, well, God's with you right there on the mat as you're stretching, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why not just purposefully spend that time with Him? And that's super cool. I really like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Justin, as you think about like the audience members that we have, as we think about people who are in this first year of life after graduation, or maybe who are preparing to step into that, is there, from your years of experience in this post-graduation season, and specifically being in the world of fitness in the ways that you have been, is there a word of advice that you would give to your fellow alumni as they're thinking about or actively taking steps towards stepping into health and wellness in this new season of life?
Yeah, just start. Just do something. I like how typically at the new year you see gyms have like free class, and so I would just do all those, like whether it's cycle bar or just try it all. I would say give yourself, like, I would say even like up to 2 years grace for yourself to figure out, like, okay, like I want to try out these different things, and and then when you finally get a rhythm of like, okay, yes, this is what I want to do, whether it's even if it's like frisbee golf, like okay, this is my thing. Something that you can. Another thing is something you can nerd out about, like going about the frisbee golf. Like you're like, okay, this is really fun. Like I want to, and there's a way you can train for frisbee golf, and making sure your shoulders are prime. I don't know, but I think something that you can really like nerd out about and like really want to get better at. I think that can be your thing, and but at the beginning, like give yourself this clean of grace, like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what I want to, really get into, but just explore, try out new things. I was working at like Purdue's CrossFit gym, and I like how there's a bunch of college students, and they'll just bring their friends, and just see if they enjoyed it, and so that was just a good way of just to step in. So just do it. Just go to those free classes, and anything that just may sound interesting, just go for it. And, because a lot of times we're nervous, like we just we don't want to be that person that doesn't look like they know what they're doing. But I was there. Everybody, those people that's in that class with you, like they were there at some point too. They were new. That'd be my advice.
That's great. I think that's really great advice. Like part of it is we can sometimes just get an image in our mind of what it's supposed to look like. Like, okay, this is what fitness looks like.
Right.
And to say like that, maybe that's not what it looks like for you. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. And so take time, to explore and to test out a number of different things, but also to say like, just give yourself grace. I think that's a good word for any element of health and wellness and just our lives in general that we're leaning into in this season, is give yourself space to try it out, to figure out whether or not something works, and then to move on to the next thing if you need to. But just like, this is a done is better than perfect in this situation of like, just try stuff out. And if you fail or it's not the right thing, it's okay. There's lots of other options to test out and keep going. Just keep trying. So I think that's really great advice. And I appreciate that, especially from somebody who has been in kind of a gym environment for a long time. You've gotten to interact with lots of people who are new, and you have a lot of reps, literally and figuratively. You have a lot of reps under your belt when it comes to like leaning into this kind of stuff and testing it out, giving it time, not giving up, and saying like, I'm going to keep pushing here. And I just think that's really helpful to hear from you, Justin. It's sort of a tangentially related. You mentioned this before, but I wanted to bring it up again. Just in case people are intrigued and want to look it up. Like you said that you've published a couple of books. Are there any of them that could be that maybe people would say like, hey, yeah, I want to look this up. Can you tell us just what they are? And maybe we can drop some links in the show notes as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I got 3 out right now.
Okay.
2 of them is about my dogs. So apologize if y'all heard them in the background, but they're 2 little toy schnauzers. First one, Scout. He's the oldest. So his book is called Scout's Bearded Adventure.
Nice.
And he's on a quest to figure out why he has a beard, because all schnauzers you got that little beard. And then Sadie's, my second dog. Her favorite place is the backyard, and this one is Sadie's Backyard Adventure. So and she's on this. She's just basically telling her story of the backyard and how she kind of gets into trouble and everything. And
nice.
So that one, and then one before, it's kind of a spinoff of Veggie Tales. It's Gym Tales and Barbells. So nice. And instead of vegetables, they're gym equipment.
That's awesome.
So it's so a lot of fun with that one, and they're all on Amazon currently.
Sweet.
And so a lot of fun. Even if you don't have kids, I like to say it's a good bathroom read, or what have
everybody
you.
needs one of those.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so great. Justin, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for giving us a glimpse into what this part of your story has looked like, and for just helping give us some encouragement of what it looks like to lean in as we think about wellness, and I just think it's always helpful to hear stories from our fellow alumni who, even if we weren't on the same campus at the same time, like we get it. It's like we get what sort of an intervarsity experience is like. We speak a lot of the same language in that way. And it's super helpful to get to hear from one of our people as they tell their story, and as we say like, okay, where can I apply this to my story as well today? So I'm really grateful for you giving some time and helping us do that.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thanks for having me.
This came up in a conversation that we had a few weeks ago, but I think Justin's communal approach to physical health and fitness is one of the keys to his longevity in the gym. I think that's one of the baked-in benefits of something like CrossFit. The gym is a communal place to suffer and overcome challenges together. But if CrossFit isn't for you, this is still possible. Justin mentioned things like pickleball and frisbee golf. Whatever it is, find someone or a group of someones to do healthy, physically challenging things with, and just watch as your body, your sleep, your general sense of well-being, and your relationships grow and develop. Go do something, give it time to marinate, and do it with other people. If you need help putting a plan together, I'll link some of our recent episodes that can help you do that. Justin, thanks again for joining me today. So great to get to hang out with you. Alumni, come back next week for a story about what to do when your work is contributing to unhealthy life rhythms and how to take appropriate next steps, even if they weren't the steps you were expecting. Until then, consider sharing this episode with someone who needs to hear it, and I will see you in the after, alumni. Thanks for listening to After 4. This podcast is brought to you by the InterVarsity Alumni Relations Team, hosted and produced by John Steele, production assistance by Mike Zantera, edited by Caleb Leppert, and our After 4 theme music was written and performed by John Steele.